If we now know this about the brain and that all students have the wiring, the question then becomes, why do so many students of color experience underachievement? So the first thing I want to say about that is, let's take away students of color, meaning their exterior color. You see, everybody's brain is gray. Everyone's brain is gray. So if we start with understanding how that gray matter works, then we can make better choices about students of color. The one thing that we know, and I'd like you to go to the next slide, is that when you think about something like the Common Core standards, I love to share this one because particularly in terms of the English side, and then we'll look at math, if you quickly breeze through, what you will notice in the Common Core state standards, they are expecting that students not only demonstrate independence, not only have high content knowledge, but if you go all the way down to the bottom, it says that they should understand perspectives of others. Now, I share this with you because usually we're not thinking about the fact that the Common Core standards are not just looking at skills, but they're looking at behaviors. They're looking at habits of mind, how you nurture in a child. Students of color, this idea of feeling resilient, this idea of being able to persist, this idea of coming up with questions. That's what we're talking about in terms of behaviors. And so the idea here is you have to engage students with these kinds of content that's going to stimulate a lot of discussion and a lot of interest to get them into those kind of behaviors. If you look at the math side, you'll quickly look down and say the Common Core standards are looking for high levels of thinking. So when we think about remedial work and starting with students' weaknesses, we'll never get to the levels of thinking not only are they capable of, but that's going to be required to move into this idea of being college and career ready. So again, back to this idea of belief that one, students have the capacity, and two, that we want to illuminate ourselves and our staffs about what this propensity or potential of the brain is and look at why it's so needed to be able to get to these high levels of thinking and to cultivate the behaviors that are going to get students to a point of feeling independent and skilled. Next slide.